Alright guys, hi, this is Zeus28 Frenzy. We are going to be playing through the first mission of Ace Combat Zero. Glacial Skies. I'm gonna shut up now.
It's going to take a while. It happened years ago. Did you know there are three kinds of aces? Those who seek strength, those who live for pride, and those who can read the tide of battle. Those are the three. And him? He was a true ace.
He was a fighter pilot they called Solo Wing Pixie. He was a colleague of the man I seek. 10 years ago, there was a war that engulfed the world. The Belkan War. And in that war was a pilot who trailed across the sky and disappeared from history. He was a lone mercenary who inspired both fear and admiration. He is the man I seek. And so, with the words of Solo Wing, the curtain rises.
It was a cold and snowy day.
So, while we play the game, I'm going to be talking about the lore of the game, the entire series in total. From how it starts to the current war that we fought in Ace Combat 7. Screw the briefing. It's boring. Look at the briefing screen. You guys got it? Bunch of bombers. Ace Combat. Top tier mission, first mission, shoot down the bombers. So, the reason that all these wars broke out is because of the 1994 Ulysses asteroid. Ulysses asteroid was supposed to land in 1994, hence the name. And when it did break land, when it was getting closer, Osea built Stonehenge to shoot down the asteroid. Belka, back during the Cold War between Osea and Yuktobania, built Excalibur as an anti-ICBM missile system because of the Cold War. And you'll see Excalibur in this game. Valai Air Base, it's set in the far southern corner of Ustio. It's in the farthest point of the mountains, and the Belkans haven't taken this over because cold, snowy mountains isn't very easy to move an army through. And Golem Team, this is their first mission with Cipher and Pixy together. And this is the start of a journey. Now, Ustio's roundels are on the wings, and the dog that's usually on the side of Cipher's plane, the red dog with the leash in its mouth, that is supposed to be Garm from Norse mythology. And Garm and I think one other Norse god fought to the death, and they killed each other. But well, that's about it for this episode that I can name off, because I don't want to keep spewing it out when I got more to talk about. But the main reason for why this war starts, and it'll say this later on in the game, is Belka had to sell off land in order to fix its destabilizing economy. And later on, an extreme right-wing party, apparently, took over and was like, we're gonna we're gonna take over Ustio again because they found heavy resources, and we need the money. Early on, you only run into like F5s, F4s, You don't run into a lot of advanced aircraft early on in the game because, well, it's the start of the game. They don't want to put you up against like YF-23s or F-22s. Even though F-22s in this timeline are phased into service back then in 1995, the F-22 wasn't. I don't think it was fully entered into service until like the early 2000s. I don't know. I haven't really paid attention to the 22. I know the F5 entered service somewhere in the later eras of the Cold War. The B-52, it's most famous for its actions in Vietnam and Korea. It was built around that time after we got jet engines figured out, at least in America. The BM-335 is actually a non-canon jet. It's the only other fake. It's the only other fake bomber. It's the only other fake plane next to the 80FX, the Morgan, and the Wyvern in the game. It's a completely made-up bomber. And, well, that's the end of Mission 1, Glacial Skies. I'll shut up now and let the cutscenes play.
It all started on that snowy day. My first impression was he had potential.
Thanks to you, Belkan's attack on Valais Air Base has failed. Your efforts will not go unrewarded. Your actions may well decide who wins the Belkan War. I, for one, will be counting on you.